Kayla Andre, LourdesAmato, and Ribeiro are three Kriola real estate agents providing service to the communities of Fall River, Rhode Island, and Boston. Our Kriola sat down with the three lovely ladies to see how life and the market are doing during the pandemic.
Hi, my name is Ribeiro. I'm the broker owner of Craft Realty here in Rhode Island. Just answering a couple questions for you guys today. So clearly we're in really tough times right now with the pandemic, and I guess my family, just like I'm sure everyone else, has had some challenges. Especially I have twin daughters, they're 8 years old, and distance learning has been quite interesting for them and me. Best thing I could say is take it day by day. That's what we're doing right now. Every day, we just get through our day, and we go on to the next one and do our part to slow the spread.
Hi everybody, I am LourdesAmato. I'm a real estate agent out here in Fairhaven, Massachusetts. So how are we handling this quarantine? Not so bad. I actually am a homebody, so I don't mind being at home all day. I do have 4 kids, so it can get crazy in this house, but they're older, so they're 9 to 15, so it's not so bad. Like, they can do a lot of things on their own, but I do find the only thing that stresses me out is the schoolwork. It's a lot of things that they have to do, so keeping them on task and focus has been stressful. But other than that, I enjoy sleeping in, not having to do their hair. It's less laundry, but we also have to feed them 3 times a day and find them stuff to do so that they're not playing video games all day. But other than that, I'm enjoying it.
Good rising, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. I am Kayla Andre, and I am in COVID-19 like the rest of us. I have to say that in the beginning it was really, really difficult. Myself and as well as my children are very outdoorsy people. If we're not out either at work or at school, we're enjoying outside nature, going for walks, going for bike rides, exploring, as my children will call it. And it was difficult when we had like a stay in place and could not go anywhere and had very little access to all of the things that we love to do. And so in the beginning it was super difficult, and it took a toll on our relationships, it took a toll on our mental health, it took a toll on all of us, right? And so one of the things that was helpful was, late night bike rides and late night walks and taking drives, even if we had no destination, and just really getting out of the house. Once we got into routine and understood that we're in this together and we got to make this work, and whatever the new norm looks like, we got to construct that and figure it out for ourselves, because no one's going to make our house work the way that it needs to work. And so the beginning was extremely difficult, and we're at the end of May now. We've been doing this for a while. It's like riding a bike, right? In the beginning, you're falling off, you're frustrated, you're annoyed, but once you get the hang of it, it's easier. And so we have not fully acclimated ourselves to this new norm, and we're definitely not about the mask life, but you got to do what you got to do, in the words of my grandmother. And we are blessed to say that no one in our family or anyone that is in our circle of love has been tested positive for COVID-19, but we definitely want to give our condolences for those that have lost family and friends and co-workers and neighbors because of this horrible pandemic.
What made you want to go into the real estate business?
So I got into real estate about 8 or 9 years ago, and I actually originally was just doing marketing for a real estate company and real estate agents. And I very quickly realized that I enjoyed all aspects of real estate, not just the marketing. And it was a convenience that I could market myself. So I became a real estate agent. And then a few years after that, I became a real estate broker and went out and on my own. And here I am now.
What made me want to be a real estate agent? So I want to say back when I was like 17 or 18, I wanted to be a real estate agent because I I'm nosy and I just wanted to see what different houses look like. And I went and I took the test at 18 years old and I failed. And I didn't have a mentor at that time that told me that it's okay if you failed. Like, that doesn't mean that it's not meant for you or you're not cut out for it or you're not smart enough. It just means that you have to study more and longer and harder and really be dedicated and take the test again. And so it took me over 10 years, 12 years to go back and take the test again. And once I took it, I still didn't pass the first time. I failed on 2 different occasions before I passed and became a real estate agent. But what inspired me to become an agent the second time, and everything works, like God is so good. So everything works out for a reason, right? If I would have been an agent at 18, I probably in the 2008 crash, I probably would have like lost my mojo and been depressed and stressed out and never want to do real estate again. But I learned a lot during 2008. And while I was a radio personality, I was looking at gentrification. I was taking a look at the crash. I was seeing what was happening all around me. And I just didn't really understand what was going on. And so I had questions. I was interviewing people from the city. I was interviewing people from the state. I was interviewing people in housing. I was interviewing real estate agents, and nobody could or explain to me what gentrification was, or why it was happening, or why Boston was having this surge of transition from poor Black and brown and Latino and Cape Verdean, and like, if you have melanin, you're Black. But I know not everybody self-identifies. So because nobody was willing to give me the answers I was looking for, I went and sought them out for myself, which led me to doing all of these real estate courses online and reading books. And I said, it doesn't make any sense for me to have all this knowledge and not to be able to legally share it. And so I just went ahead and I got my license. It took me 2 times because I failed, but I finally got my license, and my passion is for people, and I enjoy helping people and giving people the knowledge they need in order to make informed decisions.
So one of the questions I do get asked a lot is, how is the market during COVID-19? And even though I just started in November, I can kind of see that there's a lot of buyers, not enough sellers. So inventory is very low. As soon as everything started locking down, I did get a lot of people still wanting to buy houses. So there's buyers out there. There's just not a lot of sellers. So I just feel like this is the time. If you're able to get financing, this is the time to buy here in Massachusetts, around South Coast, only because of Boston being such a hot spot for real estate. It's trickling down to us. So once I got into real estate, I noticed that the prices went up, and the prices are still steady. So once everything starts to lift and things open up, prices are only going to go up. So if you can buy now.
Is there any system programs out there for first-time buyers?
So I do a lot with property management, investment property, and it's been an interesting shift in the market during this time. Immediately, people, especially real estate agents, felt pretty uncomfortable with showing property. People felt uncomfortable with us going into their properties, and all understandably. So really what we did on our end to try and make the process still be comfortable and desirable for those who are looking, because people are still looking for new homes and new apartments. Everyone's still going through life changes. Not everything just stops because of this. We have to adjust. So what we've done is we've done a lot of 3D tours with a camera that actually allows you to photograph the whole apartment or the whole property, and then you can do a virtual walkthrough on your own. And that's really helped a lot of people because it allows for them to safely tour an apartment right from their couch and continue to slow that spread.
People with low credit that still want to purchase a house can purchase with low credit, but you're going to pay a higher interest rate, which is going to result in you paying more over the 30 years or 15 years of your loan. What I would suggest you do is one of two things. You can either fix your credit yourself, because there is no legal reason why anything has to stay on your credit for 7 years. There is no law that says that credit agencies have to keep your information, your derogatory, your late payments, your bankruptcies for 7 years. There's no such law. So I would say get your credit fixed immediately. Do it yourself. I have a $10 step-by-step guide to help you do it on your own, or work with a company, and I work with a company that helps fix credit in order for people to buy. So you have two options: fix it yourself or work with a company. Either way, I can help you do both. Tayla Made, MADE, credit repair easy at gmail.com, and let's get started.
So my number one advice for anyone who's looking into buying a house is getting financing plan in place. And that is key. It is so important. I would say sit down with a loan officer, because I think when you sit down with someone, they will tell you exactly what needs to be paid off, how much money you're going to need to be put aside for closing costs and down payment, and where your credit score needs to be, especially now that a lot of banks are requiring a little higher credit score than they used to. So those are the main things I would tell you to focus on if you're planning on buying the house in the near future.
What advice do you have for future home buyers or renters?
One thing we do have to keep in mind is that the economy is going to be affected by this. It already has been, and we are in a bit of a bubble right now. You know, the government is putting a lot of money into the economy. We have these stimulus checks coming in, and people have boosted unemployments. So we're not feeling it just yet, but there's going to be a shift in our economy. There are going to be businesses that just can't survive this kind of shutdown, and it all trickles down to real estate. When the economy isn't doing well, real estate has to adjust. And it's been a very hot seller's market for the past 5 to 6 years. And we talk about in real estate something called a shift. And a shift is when we start to see a shift in it coming from a buyer's market to a seller's market, or a seller's market to a buyer's market, and just a shift in the feeling of the real estate environment. So there is a shift that is happening right now. And for those who are looking to buy a new home, and for those who are looking for a more affordable renting situation, we're going to have to see prices adjust according to that shift. So it might not happen tomorrow. It could be more than a month or two. But as the economy does start to open back up, as the country starts to open back up, if you are looking to make a move, don't feel like you can't right now. Just keep an eye on the market, prepare yourself, save your money, make proper investments. You know, don't open up new credit cards or anything to that extent. And if you are looking to make a change, talk to a mortgage originator. They're working around the clock right now. They're working from home. They're very accessible. And if you really want to prepare yourself to get into this future buyer's market, now's your time to start doing that research. We're home. We're able to be on our computers. We're able to reach out to people through Zoom calls and by phone. My suggestion is prepare yourself and knowledge. Knowledge is really important. So get to know what you're capable of doing. Talk to a property management company if you're looking to make a move. Find out what's opening up. Some things just aren't listed right now because it's a unique time, but a lot's going to be coming on the market. So prepare yourself. Get ready.
The number one question that I am being asked since this pandemic began is whether or not people should wait for the pandemic to end prior to buying. So same answer across the board. Do what is best for you. If you don't have the savings, if you don't have the credit, and you don't have the essential workers job to continue to finance paying for a home, then no, do not purchase a home now. Do what's best for you. If you can purchase a home, if you do have the funding, if you do have the credit score, and you do have the savings, yes, buy now, because there is nothing right now indicating that there is going to be a market crash. And even in 2008, when there was a real estate crash, the part of the market that crashed was the people that purchased above their means. So it wasn't across the board. Everybody lost their house. It was just the people who purchased above their means that lost their home. So at this point, there is no reason for us to believe that there is going to be a real estate crash and that you're going to get a better deal after the epidemic. Right now, sellers still want what their house is worth and they're not budging. So properties that were on the market prior to COVID-19 that are still on the market have seen less than a 10% decrease in price because a lot of sellers just pull their house off the market, a temporary withdrawal, instead of completely taking their home off the market. Sellers still want what their house is worth. And just like if you go to the bodega down the street towards the left versus the bodega down the street towards the right, you are going to get two different products from each store. Every mortgage broker is different. Every bank is different. Every credit union is different. Every state is different. So there are thousands of products on the market right now for help for lower income families that want to purchase. There's down payment assistance, there's closing cost assistance, there's no PMI, there's a bunch of programs that exist, but finding the program that is best for you is important. And having a real estate agent as well as a mortgage broker that's going to break those products down and give you all of your options so you can make an informed decision is also important. And so, do products exist to help? Yes, they do. But the bold print giveth and the fine print take it away. So it's important for you to understand all of the fine print that comes with each product, because even though it looks like a great deal today, it could be costing you a hell of a lot of money at the back end. I am Kayla Andre of Thumbprint Realty. I help people with credit, I help people with real estate, and I want to help you. 617-459-0041. Taylor, Tayla, Andre, Andre, at thumbprintrealty.com. Like a fingerprint, but your thumbprint. I thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. Be strong. The epidemic is not going to last forever.
It was really great talking to you all today. Stay safe, stay healthy. We're going to slow this spread and we're all going to get through this together.